And I have
throwing them away.
yes.
That's my homework.
Whoa! Oh, whoa! You have something in the bag that you would like out. You can pay cash for it. So you learn the value of your items.
Yo, bitch already. Chassis leave a fuck nigga raging like spaghetti. Yo, what I rock and why?
Today I'm going to be talking about the worst parents on YouTube. And the parents I'm talking about are Kevin and Ruby Franke. And they ran a YouTube channel called the 8Passengers, which was another one of those family vlog channels. But everything started to go downhill for them around 2 years ago when people would point out how abusive and toxic the parents were. And fast forward to 2023, she was arrested and charged with 6 felony counts of child abuse, along with her business partner Jody, who was also charged with the same thing. And I'm going to be showing you some proof of everything that Ruby has done. The first thing I'm going to be showing you guys is a vlog that shows Ruby's extreme way of parenting and how visibly nervous her kids would get around her.
I gave Julie a tongue lashing that will not ever be repeated nor recorded. Just use your imagination. It was bad. I am going to say one nice thing, and that is you took your lashing very well. And I'm going to pretend that life is exactly how I want it.
I'm gonna go.
Right?
I'm gonna go get dressed for football.
You're gonna have to go find your shorts. Oh, did you see the socks you threw at the side of the garden? And you are not going anywhere unless you pick up your junk. You've got crap thrown all around. No, so you see now I'm using bad language. That's how bad of a mood I'm in. You get your socks picked up and don't you leave your stuff out anymore. Right over there. Run and go pick them up. And then give me 10 push-ups. Put them in your pocket so you can take them down to the hamper and drop and give me 10. One. Put your hands straight out. They're supposed to be out. Shake your hands forward. There you go. 1, 2, down further. Bring your butt down. Oh.
There's many instances in these vlogs where the real Ruby will show and she doesn't even care if it's on camera. Another one of those instances is when Ruby told her kids they don't need food on camera and would also take their privilege to eat if they did something that's slightly wrong in any way. She would also frequently not buy food for the house.
There's nothing to eat.
Yeah, I need to go to the store. Stop. Just stop.
Mom, can you give me some breakfast?
You don't need food.
Thank
I'm only gonna say it one more time, and then you're gonna lose the privilege to eat.
Starving them isn't the only thing she would do to her kids though, because despite her son Chad being 18, she took away his room and made him sleep on a beanbag for 7 months. So that entire time, Chad had 0 privacy and no time to himself. And Ruby tried saying that Chad agreed to everything and that it was even his choice to not have a room, which is obviously a lie. She would also tend to have power trips over all of her kids, including the youngest ones. I'll be showing you a clip of her having a power trip over one of her youngest daughters.
you. Go win.
We are going to a movie, so go get on your shoes.
What is it? What?
Does it even matter? If someone asked me if I wanted to go to a movie, I wouldn't ask what is it. Run and get your shoes or you're gonna not go. Hurry! Everyone run!
Hey, this is Ruby. I was wondering, is Brooke available to babysit?
Sorry.
I am not taking Eve, unless you come and give me a huge apology. You come give me a hug and you come say you're sorry.
Something else I want to talk about is how Ruby was willing to go as far as faking being involved in a car crash. And immediately after it happened, she left her distraught kids behind and ran to film the people that were actually involved. I think she was looking for some kind of sympathy from people, which is why she faked it. She made it sound like such a big deal to the kids to the point where Russell started to have a panic attack, which you'll see in the clip.
Are you okay? You're okay? I don't even remember what happened. I'm shaking.
Are they okay?
Everyone's okay. Russell, it's okay. What happened? It's okay.
Speaking of Russell, he would be the one to escape from Jody's house and run to a neighbor's after being bound by tape on his arms and legs. When he got to the neighbors, Russell immediately told them to call the cops. This is also the event that led to Ruby and Jody's arrest, and I'll be playing some of the audio from the 911 call made by the neighbors.
Tell me exactly what's happened.
I just had a 12-year-old boy show up here at my front door asking for help. And he's said he just came from a neighbor's house, and we know there's been problems at this neighbor's house. He's emaciated, he's got tape around his legs, he's hungry, and he's thirsty.
Okay.
And he asked us to call the police. Her name is Jody Hildebrand, and she lives 2 doors up the street. Yeah, out here in Cayenne, the houses are far apart, so he walked just under a block to get to our house.
If you guys haven't noticed, I haven't said anything about the dad, Kevin, because he wasn't arrested or charged with anything. In fact, his lawyer excused all of the abuse he's done and even said Kevin is a good guy. They were also discussing whether or not he would be charged with anything or if he's under investigation or not. Most of the information about him was spoken about in court, which is why I'm going to be moving on to the aftermath. I'll be talking about information that was released by Ruby after her arrest and some information from Kevin's lawyer since Kevin hasn't really said much about the situation. Starting off with how Ruby said in court that her son Russell had SA'd his other siblings and then did it to multiple other people including cousins and neighbors.
I'm sure you know that there was a hearing last week where Ruby Franke, and I believe it was over Zoom, she made quite the allegations. She said that one of her children was abusing another one of the children, was abusing cousins and neighbors. That is quite the claim. What is your client's take on that?
Well, because it occurred during juvenile court proceedings, the reporter who snuck into the proceedings and reported that damaged these children and this family even more. It was despicable what they did in reporting that.
Kevin's lawyer also said that this information was leaked and it was completely illegal to do so. And another lawyer said if these allegations are false, Ruby's children have the right to sue her. These allegations are obviously all lies, and Ruby is just trying to keep her image by destroying Russell's instead of hers. The next thing that Kevin's lawyer said was that all of the money that the 8Passengers channel was making would all go to Ruby, and Kevin would retain sufficient amounts of money to take care of himself. It's rumored that the channel generated around $5 million, and Kevin got almost none of it.
The money that they made off of the show, I think Ruby had claimed at one point they were making a significant amount of money. Has Kevin ever spoken to you about that, about how profitable that show was?
Kevin was simply giving his earnings to Ruby that were going to support the family. Mm-hmm. He retained sufficient amounts of money to take care of himself while they were separated, but all the rest of that money was going to Ruby to support the kids.
The reason Kevin retained some money for himself was because he wasn't living with the rest of the family for 13 months. Which is also why he didn't get arrested, because they said if he wasn't there, how could he have known or done anything to them? But way before he left the house, that's when the vlogs were being made, which already have signs of her power trips and abuse. So I really think the dad did know, but that's just my opinion. There is a chance that Kevin could still be charged with abuse because if medical professionals are able to date back any of the injuries on the kids, Kevin could be involved in anything older than 13 months.
And so his position right now, I'm very curious legally, where do you think it stands?
Yeah, he is in a tricky position, and a lot of it, as you suggested, Jesse, is going to go to the physical evidence. I believe with the 12-year-old who escaped through the window and got to the neighbors, that there was evidence of, there were a lot of sores. And it would be interesting to get the medical reports from the doctors to see whether there are any scars and how they can date back the injuries. Because if there was evidence of physical injuries before the 13 months, beyond the last 13 months, then he's got a lot of explaining to do. You can't let your spouse abuse your children.
The last thing I'm going to be showing you guys is a statement put out by Ruby's sister. Her and Ruby's other siblings kept quiet about Ruby's kids for 3 years, and this is what she has to say.
If you have the internet, you have seen news articles on my sister, Ruby, from the 8Passengers. And my sisters and I, we are on the very same page. We put out a message. You can read that on Instagram. And for the last 3 years, we have truly clung on to each other and offering support to one another. And I don't think any of us could have ever seen this coming. We all did as much as we could legally, and you don't know what you don't know.
And that's pretty much everything I wanted to talk about when it comes to the 8Passengers. Much more is still being revealed, but I spoke about everything important you should know right now. So thank you guys for watching.